All right, so in the last section, we did this in order to check our results, but we saw that if I wanted to take, say, a cube root of a number on the calculator, I simply raise it to the 1/3 power. That roots correspond to fraction powers, and we're just going to explore that more in this section. So a root corresponds to a fraction 1 over something. So the nth root of a is a to the 1 over n power. More generally, any fraction exponent, if I'm raising a to the m over n power, means I'm going to take the nth root of a to the m, or the nth root of a to the m power. In essence, when you raise something to a fraction power, the denominator tells you what root you're taking, and then the numerator tells you what power you're raising it to. So we're going to start off with some exercises that we can do without a calculator. 8 to the 2/3 power. So it's a cube root, because that's the denominator. So the cube root of 8, and then we're going to square that. The cube root of 8 is 2, and 2 squared is 4. So 8 to the 2/3 power is equal to 4. 16 to the 3/4 power. Okay, so we're taking the 4th root of 16 and raising that to the 3rd power. The 4th root of 16 is 2. 2 cubed is 8. So 16 to the 3/4 power is equal to 8. Again, these are ones you can actually check on your calculator because they are numerical. 9 to the negative 1/2 power. So, okay, we've got a negative power. So I'm going to apply that first. This is 1 over 9 to the 1/2 power. The 1/2 exponent corresponds to a square root, 1 over the square root of 9, and this gives me 1/3. Nine to the 3/2 power. Okay, 3/2 power, so we're going to take a square root and then cube that. The square root of 9 is 3. 3 cubed is 27. So 9 to the 3/2 power is equal to 27. We're going to simplify some expressions now, so this is not just numerical anymore, but we're going to apply our rules of exponents. So I've got 8a squared b to the 4th all to the 1/3 power. So these are products, right? I'm multiplying inside parentheses and raising that to the 1/3 power. So I'm going to distribute this 1/3 exponent to each of those factors. 8 to the 1/3 times a squared to the 1/3 times b to the 4th to the 1/3. 8 to the 1/3 power is the cube root of 8. A squared to the 1/3, b to the 4th to the 1/3. I'm going to use that property that says I can multiply the exponents. So this is a to the 2/3 power times b to the 4/3 power. And the cube root of 8 is 2. So 2a to the 2/3 power, b to the 4/3 power. They gave us the expression using exponents and not radicals, so I'm going to leave my result in exponents, in like an exponential form. One thing you want to make sure you do is just avoid negative exponents. Let's do another one. X to the 3/4 times x to the 4/5. So we've got a product, and the bases here are the same, so that means that I'm going to add the exponents. So 3/4 plus 4/5. Got to get a common denominator. That common denominator is 20. And then we have 15 plus 16, which is 31 over 20. So this is x to the 31 over 20 power. All right, here's another one. This one definitely looks a little bit more complicated. There's a little bit more going on in this one. I see some negative exponents. I have some numerical bases. I've got a base of x in the top and the bottom, and then this whole fraction is being raised to the 2/3 power. There's more than one correct way we can start this problem. So I want to emphasize that, but I think what I'll do first is just simplify what's happening in the fraction, and then I'll apply that 2/3 power on the outside last. So I'm going to deal with these negative exponents first by moving them and making them positive. So up top we have x to the 1/3 times x to the 2/3. And on the bottom we have 2 to the 3/2 times 4 to the 9/2. And this is all to the 2/3 power. Okay, simplifying the top is not too hard because we're going to add these exponents, right? And when you add 1/3 and 2/3, you get 1. So the top of this fraction is just x to the first, or x. Now on the bottom, I'm going to rewrite 4 as 2 squared. Because now I could see I've got a power to a power. I can multiply those exponents. 2 times 9/2 is 9. And we can simplify that product in the bottom. That's 9 over 1. So if I add those exponents, we have, let's see, 3 plus 18 is 21. 21 over 2. So we have x over 2 to the 21 over 2 power. This is all to the 2/3 power. Now I'll apply that property that says we can distribute an exponent over a quotient. So I got x to the 2/3 divided by x to the 2 to the 21 over 2 to the 2/3 power. The top is x to the 2/3. The bottom, I'm going to multiply those exponents. So 2 cancels with 2, 3 goes into 21 7 times, and that's 2 to the 7th. So we can leave it that way, or you can multiply out 2 to the 7th, or do it on your calculator. I think you get 128.